Besides the fact that women tend to look or stare at you as a way to let you know, what other signs do you look for? When you see those signs, does it give you more confidence to go for it and ask her out? Story 1. Usually, when we have been dating exclusively for 6 months and sleeping together regularly, I start to suspect that she might be interested in me. Story 2. Signs and hints are for children. If she cannot be mature and express herself with direct words, I am not interested. Story 3. If this question came from a man, I would tell him that if a woman is interested in him and he is failing to notice, she will usually let him know. If this question came from a woman, I would tell her to stop asking the imaginary male collective which subtle signals she should use and just be direct. Yes, it can be uncomfortable. Yes, it becomes even more uncomfortable if you get rejected. This is how men have been doing it the whole time. Meet us. Story 4. You know how you ask a woman about her career, past relationships, travel, hobbies, parents, anything about her, but she doesn't seem to do the same to you? A woman who is genuinely interested in you will ask you about those things. Maybe not about what you do with all your money. I have a person at work who asks me that, completely oblivious to how she is coming off. You will know if she wants a relationship with you. She will call you and talk for hours, basically going out of her way to spend time with you. At that point, you can be direct with her and tell her you want her. Story 5. There are 4 categories of men. Men who see signs of interest everywhere and are generally right. Men who see signs of interest and are wrong. Men who do not see signs of interest even though people are trying to send them. And men who do not see signs of interest with no one trying to send them. This mostly has no connection to actually perceiving these subtle gestures of possible interest consistently and everything to do with levels of existing internal confidence, whether misplaced or not. Mind reading is not real, and any woman's signs of interest are often other women's innocuous behaviors, just the way they act, leading to misunderstandings about being interested, up to and including actual flirting. The idea that simply looking at someone a lot reliably communicates anything, especially something potentially embarrassing to misinterpret, is nonsense. Many women want to believe that looking at a man and occasionally touching their hair is taking initiative in pursuing what they want, but nothing is actually happening. They are leaving everything up to the man. Story 6. Honestly, it's hard to explain because a lot of this is just vibes. But if a woman is going out of her way to accommodate your vibe, really trying to meet you where you're at, there's probably some kind of connection she's hoping to build. Maybe it's friendship, but if that energy feels specific and it doesn't match how she acts with others, there's a good chance she has a particular interest in you. Other signs? If she is finding any excuse to talk to you, engaging with even your simplest conversations, dropping inside jokes, or remembering some very specific thing you said weeks ago, that kind of attentive behavior tends to stand out, especially if it diverges from her usual patterns. Basically, if it feels like she's subtly orbiting you more than she does for anyone else, that's usually not random. There is a lot of talk about things like, she played with her hair, or her feet were pointed toward you, or it was a real smile because her eyes crinkled more, trying to decipher whether she's playing hard to get and other confusing mind games. Most of that can be explained by normal, ordinary reasons. Hair gets in the way. People smile at jokes. Feet point in the direction of the chair. It is just vibes and a type of connection she is trying to gently guide you toward. This behavior can happen quickly in a moment or with a female coworker who secretly develops feelings and slowly drips the process over a period of months. The type of bid for or shift in connection is what is important, in my opinion. Story 7. How long they hold eye contact, if they laugh at my silly jokes, obvious excuses to spend more time together, which is sweet, and if the pitch of their voice changes. Story 8. If this is a woman otherwise in my life, I need an explicit statement of I am interested in you, without which I will not take any risks by assuming. Story 9. Well, there was the woman who traded back rubs with me and complained that she had too many responsibilities and not enough rest. There was a girl who would kiss me passionately and often be intimate around me. The woman who stroked my thigh as we went for a drive. The woman who walked up to me topless at the airport and asked me for a ride. A woman I'd been spending time with who had me take her shopping. She tried on stylish outfits for me. I bought one for her. Back to her place, we hung out some more. Too late to drive home, so I stayed the night. I got into bed with her, wearing only underwear. None of them were interested in me. Story 10. She actively engages me in conversation so that I do not feel like I am carrying it. After that, I try to pay attention to body language, tone, and flirting. That woman at the table with a few of her friends who is glancing at me? I have no idea she exists, much less that she is curious about me. There is too much noise and mixed signals for me to have any chance of picking up on such signs. Maybe I live inside my own head too much, but surveying every woman in my line of sight while I am out in public is exhausting and not productive. Story 11. I thought being friendly and doing activities together was a sign, but I just struck out big time after trying to invite her to more activities like hiking and such. I guess it was not meant to be. She was really nice. Story 12. Smiling, lots of eye contact, playing with her hair, and laughing at my jokes are good signs, but I have learned not to rely on them because she could just be acting friendly. If she is looking for excuses to touch me and wants to spend time with me one-on-one, then I am pretty confident she might be interested in me. Story 13. There are no signs. Communication is your choice to use or not use. A woman staring at you one day may be ignoring you the next. I have had many women stare at me, only to find out they were in relationships and not interested. Staring is not a universal sign. Story 14. Oh, I don't look for signs at all. Women will make their interest known eventually. Actively watching for signs and trying to interpret people's actions is a recipe for disaster. They are inconsistent, mercurial, and most of what they do does not make sense. It is better to ignore what you think might be subtle signs and let her escalate. Basically, if she wants you, she is going to accidentally rub herself on you or just walk over and sit in your lap if you ignore the subtle stuff long enough. Women really are not all that subtle, to be honest. If they are interested, they magically learn how to cut the nonsense. The mind games and all that other behavior are not interest per se. It is the sick satisfaction of playing the game. I am in a healthy relationship and I like to ignore the obvious stuff too. It deeply hurts them. It also leads to people spreading rumors that I am gay. I find it amusing. Story 15. Literally every single thing you might think of. Batting eyelashes at contact, smiling, playing with her hair, laughing at our jokes, touching us, even kissing and hugging us. There are other women who do this while just being friendly. It is not that we are entirely oblivious. It is that we have learned to only trust affirmative, clear consent. Story 16. I must have missed that class in school. The only signs I ever learned to read were traffic signs and building postings. Story 17. If she stays nearby for no apparent reason, laughs at jokes, looks at me lovingly, and looks away when she is caught, I will know at some level. Story 18. I have no idea. After our first date, I kissed my wife on the cheek goodbye, and the look she gave me made me feel like she wanted to kill me. I thought the date went fine, but then I reconsidered and thought maybe I misread her. I did misread the situation. She wanted a real kiss. After 14 years, I've learned the look she gave me was honestly just her face. Her angry face is much scarier. On our second date, she climbed on top of me, took off her shirt and bra, and ground on me while making out. I said, "Thanks," and drove her home. My penis is still upset about that one, and that's the first time I saw her actual angry face. I had no idea she wanted to go all the way and have sex. Now, obviously, my situations are extremes, but it's a good way to measure how oblivious some men can be. Use your words for the love of God. Story 19. She looks at you after she makes a joke, when you laugh, or whenever she laughs. She stares at you a lot from afar and looks away quickly when you catch her. If her legs look great, she will cross and uncross them constantly when you catch her staring. She runs her fingers through her hair when she sees you. Her eyes become slightly larger or much larger when she sees you. She is a little shy and afraid of looking you in the eyes. She started first with the staring. She is generally shy and happy when we are talking. There is an attractive tall woman at work, and every chance we get, we cannot stop staring at each other. Story 20. Women flirt by sending signals. The thing is, women are very scared of rejection, so they suppress those signals to the point that you need a team of forensic analysts to decipher them from their regular behavior. From their point of view, they think those signals are very clear. Newsflash, to the side observer, they are not. That makes the average woman poor at flirting. For all the women reading this, use touch. We understand touch. If she touches us and she is near us, she likes our presence. Flirty touches that worked on me. She comes to my desk to show me something. She leans, grabs the mouse, and her great smelling hair rolls over my shoulder. I think to myself, I got you, babe. Let me take over. Works with a phone or a book too. The classic touch on the arm while laughing at my not-so-funny joke. We stand in a semicircle listening to someone. My hands are crossed and my elbows are sticking out. She stands near me and pushes my elbow with her chest so my elbow is pressed into her. A signal you can see from space. Story 21. I do not read into anything. I have been wrong too many times when I was younger. If a woman is interested in me, she will have to come out and say it. Story 22. I thought I knew, but now I don't. I thought it was when a woman breaks the personal boundary and gets close. Turns out some are just touchy types, and men take it as more than friendship because they want more. Safe bet. Ask if she is interested. If she says yes, pursue it. If she says no, involve her family and find someone you are interested in. She may test your boundaries while remaining friends, putting you in a tough spot, always wanting more and never attaining it. Story 23. How engaging she is and her agreeing to go on a date. If more dates happen after that, I take it she is interested. Story 24. Do they like spending time with you? Do they jump at the opportunity to be with you when they can and want to stay longer? Story 25. Placating to this is bad to entertain. The same goes for any responses that suggest anything other than she should clearly state she is interested in a man. Encouraging men to make moves towards a woman because she flips her hair or looks at him longer than 2 seconds only encourages further issues between men and women. Men used to be able to approach without being branded or criticized across social media, and there is a reason women are no longer getting approached. If you like a man or want to talk to him, then do so. Story 26. I do not look for signs. What is obvious to others goes over my head. That is the rule I follow. I will not take action on anything until she literally tells me she is interested. She may just be saying that to be polite, anyway. Story 27. I do not know because what some women use as choosy signals is another woman's natural personality or simply being nice. Story 28. Some men like direct communication. Some men prefer subtlety. When I was young, I went to university and had multiple jobs to support myself. Subtlety did not work because I did not have time for it. So you will have to consider what type of communicator he is, as well as what motivates him. Story 29. If she uses every possible occasion to touch me, if she looks at me when I am not looking at her, if she enjoys spending time with me, if she is laughing at my jokes. Story 30. Catch her giving me a stare, and when I smile, I get a smile back. When we chat, I pay attention to double entendres, Freudian slips, her excessive touching of me, and especially leaning against me when there is no clear need. Story 31. Even looking and staring is not a clear enough indicator for me. I need more clues. Looking and staring might just mean I have something in my teeth or there is a better-looking guy sitting behind me. Story 32. I cannot see signs and women do not stare at me, so I do not know about that. I introduce myself. I make plans to spend time together, and if the woman agrees, then she is interested. Story 33. I do not see the point in getting your hopes up. How many times have you either misread a sign or started fantasizing without reason? Story 34. You got me, mate. I do not know. I typically look for if they ask targeted questions, like, when are you here again? They smile when they see you and joke around a bit. They do favors for you that do not quite make sense. They literally tell your mutual friends they are into you. I still do not really know. Story 35. She will find a way to be in your personal space. Women usually keep a physical distance from men they feel uncomfortable around. If she likes you, she will reach out to touch you or maneuver her way to stand or sit next to you. Story 36. Women do not like people in their personal space if they do not like them. If a woman is staying close, that is usually a good sign. Making eye contact, playing with her hair, playful touches on the arm, laughing and smiling when interacting are also good signs. Story 37. When I meet a woman and we are just having coffee and chatting, and she is compelled to touch my arm or hand, it usually begins subtly. However, if you do not say anything and put a stop to it, it could get out of hand. I have seen this. It is definitely a sign. Story 38. Women's signs are like subtitles in a foreign language. Even if we notice them, we do not know what they mean. Story 39. Looking at someone is a signal that they are interested. I get hit on by every gender, age group, and race on the planet every day. I must be a young Brad Pitt, Ronaldo, Shamar Moore, Richard Gere with a dash of George Clooney on top. Story 40. I do not make assumptions. I am not risking a misunderstanding based on an assumption. If she is interested and able to communicate clearly, she can come over and say it instead of expecting me to guess or interpret signals like an archaeologist. Story 41. She will either tell you or just ask in a way that is not weird. Do not play games. If the answer is no, then let that be okay. If you tell her you are interested and she does not respond that she is also interested in some way, that is okay too. Story 42. I do not. I just let things happen. It has worked out for me. However, you all need to learn how to communicate your interest in a way that actually makes sense to the people you are trying to communicate with. Anything else is just silly. Story 43. I look for her to tell me, I want to date you. I don't know. Mostly, a lot of eye contact is the only thing I can interpret. As for confidence, I don't have much, so I almost never make a move. Story 44. How often does she look at me and how many times have we locked eyes? Is she smiling? Does she play with her hair? Story 45. If I look at a man several times and hold my stare for more than a second each time, I want you to approach me. I am afraid I would not approach a man myself unless he smiled at me and gave me some indication that he was also interested. Story 46. I have no idea because I never assume a woman likes me. Women really need to be direct and tell me, which basically never happens. Story 47. When I see her 6 or so months later, after she lost interest and got with somebody else, she usually tells me, I used to have a huge crush on you. That's how you know. Story 48. We do not have to look. Women make it painfully clear if they are interested or not. Interested, initiates conversations and hangouts from time to time. Uninterested, trying to hold a conversation or make plans with her is like pulling teeth. Interested, looks at and engages with you when talking or doing activities together. Uninterested, constantly on her phone or looking bored no matter what you do. Interested, laughs with you and can enjoy silly or fun moments with you. Uninterested, everything you do or say will be met with silence or a look of contempt. A particularly nice woman will not glare at you but will make sure her eyes are fixed on anything around her but you. Story 49. It's easy for me to know when a woman engages in conversation with me and begins to ask questions about me. That's usually a clear sign. One of the more obvious questions is if there are other women in my life. Most women do not engage or talk to men they are not interested in unless it's for work, or they are forced to share a space or activity with you. I am also a large black male, and most women completely avoid me, making it obvious that they are trying to do so. So when a woman engages with me and starts asking questions about me, I know that she is curious. Story 50. Normally, a good sign is a gentle touch when it is not required. The closer the touch is to the heart, the stronger the signal. This can also be used as manipulation, so your mileage may vary. Story 51. Women just wanting to interact and be around us. Just be our friends for a while until you have built up the rapport to think, maybe there is more here? Story 52. Positive body language includes showing genuine interest in what you are saying by being engaged and asking follow-up questions. She may move her body to face you, give light and playful taps on the arm or leg, and laugh at your weakest or corniest jokes. When she laughs at almost all your jokes, that is a clear sign of interest. Story 53. If she invites me or asks me to do something together, Even when the event is going on, I will need verbal confirmation that she likes me and wants to see me more often. If I do not get that, I will assume there is nothing there and move on with my life. Story 54. When a girl slams her fist on the table in front of me and says, "Take me on a damn date." Until then, I am pretty clueless. Story 55. No idea. If it is not highly direct or quite blatant or even over the top, I am likely to completely miss it. So, yes, subtlety generally does not work on me, nor do I read minds. Story 56. It is extremely obvious when they are. If it is not obvious, the interest is most likely not very high. Story 57. Wetness and moistness, especially in the ears, can be a sign of interest. A quick way to find out if a woman wants you is to gently touch her ear. If it feels moist, it may indicate attraction. Story 58. A genuine smile with long eye contact. I had 2 instances where women waved me over, which made me think if only more women did this. Both times, the women were sitting with a group of friends. Story 59. Really just see if the energy is right and if she seems to love talking as much as I do. It is a very hard thing to gauge. Story 60. I didn't even realize that women staring at you was a sign of interest. Now I understand why so many women just stare at me while I'm in public. Story 61. Easy, no woman ever has been nor ever will be interested. Nor should they. I am not someone they should be interested in. Story 62. I observe how they interact with other men compared to me. If they give me more eye contact, attention, or positive body language, it makes me feel they could potentially be interested in me. However, I usually do not act on it in case I am mistaken. Story 63. In the same way anyone shows interest, the conversation demonstrates interest through more than dry and short answers. If she mentions wanting to try or do something, just as you made the effort to start a conversation and get to know her, if it is reciprocated, then she is interested. Story 64. Women touching their hair is because we are all insecure about our appearance and want to look better when interacting with people. My hair is not as thick and luxurious as it once was, so I subconsciously adjust it when I am talking to or in the presence of someone I find unattractive or attractive. Story 65. Being active. Men are generally used to doing everything, so when a woman approaches them without asking, it shows a stronger connection. This is why friendly people are more prone to false alarms. This applies to many areas: work, hobbies, tasks, sex, and so on. Story 66. I use one simple rule. If a woman chooses to talk to me when she could be doing literally anything else, she wants it. This only works if you are the kind of man who does not otherwise insert yourself around women. In this way, women have to go out of their way to message me. I have no female friends to confuse this data set. I do not maintain platonic relationships with women, so when she messages me after 9 p.m., there is only one agenda at play. No woman in her right mind messages me for friendly banter. Story 67. A genuine smile can convey much more than any words. Confidence is definitely boosted when you see that smile. Story 68. You got me, mate. I do not know. I typically look for whether they ask targeted questions, like, "When are you here again?" They smile when they see you and joke around a bit. They do favors for you that do not quite make sense. They literally tell your mutual friends they are into you. I still do not really know. Story 69. I would say when they walk up to me and ask me out, but I was asked out to prom by a girl in high school, and I was still trying to figure out if she liked me or not. I was leaning towards no. Story 70. Women do not break the touch barrier in a sensual way unless they are interested in you. Postscript. No, Steve. A handshake does not count. Story 71. I don't look for signs. I'm not a detective. If a woman can't use grown-up words, then she isn't a woman I want to be around. Men have to play 21 questions and risk being wrong because 4 words, "I'm interested in you," is apparently asking for too much. But that's me. There are plenty of men who will jump through hoops like a circus clown and are more than happy to play that game. Story 72. I just ask why people rely on signs to try to gauge when I have a brain and no language. I learned to use my words, so I do not have to act like a preschool child. Story 73. Well, this weekend's sign was that she took my hand and asked for my Instagram. But I do not know. Maybe she is just being friendly. Story 74. I am not into signs at all. Some women flirt without even realizing it or with no intention except taking your attention. What really helped me notice things is when women want to be around you and spend time with you. Story 75. First, know that men do not usually pick up on hints. If you want to make it obvious, stay close to him. Make good eye contact. Offer a soft smile when he engages in conversation with you. A subtle, lingering hand on his arm while speaking are the clues. To seal the deal, give him your number and directly ask him to call you. Story 76. Physical touch, body language, how much you laugh at my silly jokes, eye contact and how long we hold it and how you say specific things, for example. I can't believe I'm going to have to call a cab this late, knowing I drove there or you saw my keys. Story 77. I don't look for signs. If I am interested in a woman, that is all I need to ask her out. I do not need to figure out if she wants me to or not. I will find out when she says yes or no to my invitation. Story 78. Apparently, we have to blink in Morse code, flip our hair 3 times, and do a TikTok dance before you all notice. If I am laughing at your jokes and not rolling my eyes, that is your green light. King. Story 79. Extended eye contact, laughing at your jokes that are not very funny, physical contact such as bumping into you for no apparent reason, twirling her hair. Story 80. If you are casually out and about, perhaps with a group of friends or at a social gathering, and they follow you around without letting you out of their sight, it is usually a strong sign. Story 81. Laughing at my jokes, touching me and hinting that we should go out. Also touching and playing with her hair when around me. But honestly, it is much better to assume that she is interested in you and just go for it. Story 82. If she does not state with unequivocal clarity that she is interested, she is not, and I will not do anything about it. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.